One of the other claims being made about the bill, and it's related to cost control, is and opponents are spreading the idea that the president's plan will encourage euthanasia. Most recently, Sarah Palin on her Facebook page yesterday, I think it was Friday night actually, said that the America I know and love is not one in which my parents or my baby with Down syndrome will have to stand in front of Obama's death panel so as bureaucrats can decide based on a subjective judgment of their level of productivity in society whether they are worthy of health care. Such a system is downright evil. Now, as you know, Mr. Speaker, the president called that outlandish. Yeah. He said the words...
Why don't you put up what Dr. Zeke Emanuel said? Because Dr. Zeke Emanuel, who's the chief advisor to the president and brother of the chief of staff, said in writing...
He's not the chief health care advisor. He's written 3 articles between 1996 and 2008 that include some of those phrases.
Include communal standards.
Those phrases appear nowhere in the bill. The only thing in the bill... Let me just explain what's in the bill and then get you to respond to that. The only thing in the bill is that it would allow Medicare to pay for what they say is voluntary counseling on end-of-life issues.
I think people are very concerned when you start talking about cost controls, that a bureaucracy, we don't necessarily, you're asking us to trust the government. Now, I'm not talking about the Obama administration, I'm talking about the government. You're asking us to decide that we believe that the government is to be trusted. We know people have said routinely, well, you're going to have to make decisions. You're going to have to decide. Communal standards, historically, is a very dangerous concept.
It's not in the bill.
But the bill's 1,000 pages of setting up mechanisms. It sets up 45 different agencies. It has all sorts of panels. You're asking us to trust turning power over to the government when there clearly are people in America who believe in establishing euthanasia, including selective standards.
Well, look, this is something Newton and I agree on. I don't want somebody in between the doctor and the patient. I don't want the possibility of losing your health insurance. I don't want people setting standards and denying care. That's all what we have now under the private health insurance system. That's what happens. Look, I practiced for 10 years. My wife is still practicing. Never once did I have a Medicare bureaucrat tell me what I couldn't do for a patient. But all the time we have bureaucrats from the insurance companies calling up and saying we're not going to cover this and we're not going to pay for that and we're denying coverage of that. The system we have now is broken. We need to fix it. I think giving the American people some choices about how to fix it makes sense.